Hi, welcome to your Car Care Companion. Today we're going to cover in a little bit more detail how to secure a vehicle before working on it. So we know to make sure the vehicle is on level ground. Always make sure if it's automatic, put it in park. If it's a manual transmission, put the vehicle in first gear. Then before you jack it up, use wheel chucks. So today we have a variety of wheel chucks here. And let's take a real close look at these because they are a little different. And I'm going to show you the different scenarios in which you would use the different ones. Now you have a real high profile one here. Solids. We have one with a larger tire radius here, a little bit lower profile. We have some little solids here that are really low profile. And then we have the collapsibles, which I don't really recommend. Now in this particular vehicle that we're looking at today, we're going to try to determine which wheel chucks are going to make that vehicle the safest. Which vehicles are the best for use. And as you look at that tire, the size of that wheel, and the clearance of the frame and the body from the ground, the best wheel chuck for this vehicle, if you look at all of these, is going to be that first one. I'll put it in place and you notice how well it fits around the tire. Fits very well. That is a really good fit, and that car will be most stabilized using that set of wheel chucks as opposed to some of the others. The next point I want to focus on in stabilizing a vehicle is the jack stands. I have a nice little collection of jack stands here, and let's zoom in on those a little bit closer too. And you'll notice the key differences between these is the tops of them. Look at the tops of these. They have different configurations. Look at that first set. The second set, that's more for a car's frame. These are more for that little metal edge that's placed underneath the vehicle for placing jacks and jack stands. This one has a nice flat round top. That's a specialized. They can work on many different vehicles, but some vehicles require this type. And here goes another set that is similar to the first set, but they're metal. Notice the 2-ton capacity. So you don't want to be putting these under a 6-ton vehicle. So you want to look at the configuration of your vehicle and how heavy it is when you select jack stands. Now let's look at some other vehicles and which type of wheel chuck or jack stand would be best used on them. Okay, so now we have another vehicle, and if you notice, this little car has mud flaps behind the wheels. So the original, the first set of wheel chucks that we used on the first vehicle won't even fit underneath that mud flap. I'll show you that. So a better choice of a wheel chuck for this vehicle would be the yellow set of wheel chucks. These don't even fit. These are lower cut. So as you can see, it's important to look at your car and see, how high the wheels are, what other parts are on the vehicle before you purchase wheel chucks or jack stands. So let's look at the jack stands for this vehicle. We looked at the different types. In this particular vehicle, it has the metal edge. In fact, I think you can actually see it. We'll look over there and see if we can zoom in on that. Down low. It has that edge underneath along the base there that you could put jacks on that are like scissor jacks or jack stands of this type, like the silver type here, will go right on that edge, or this red one, they'll go on the edge. But also, this particular vehicle has an exposed frame underneath. It has flat surfaces. And the frame is usually contoured about like the top of these. The frame also has a flat surface, so you could also use these blue jack stands. So this vehicle can pretty much use any of the jack stands in the group. And that's one of the advantages of having a car that's made with the exposed frame and with the edge along it. So let's look at another vehicle which will not even allow you to use any of these types of jack stands except for the blue ones because of the way it's designed. It needs to use the blue jack stands, and these little inserts have to go on first. Okay, so now we have a vehicle that has a more of a low profile suspension, and that makes it to where none of the other wheel chucks will work on this vehicle except for the little solids right here, the little black ones with the cord on them. These are the only ones that will fit. The other jack stands are all, wheel chucks are all too high for this vehicle. So let's go ahead and put those in place and see how they look. These won't even fit. Can't use those. Okay. Additionally, if we look at the different jack stands, this vehicle does not have an exposed frame, unibody configuration. So it doesn't have a little edge lip, so you can't use these. And it doesn't have an exposed frame underneath, so you can't use these. Additionally, it has designated locations where you must insert these little metal inserts to even use these blue ones here. And these are the ones you have to use on this vehicle. So it's important to look at what your car has in terms of height, other body parts, before you go out and just purchase wheel chucks or jack stands with no consideration for what vehicle they're going to go on. So be safe, be careful, and look at what your car entails before purchasing wheel chucks or jack stands. This will dictate whether or not you're actually safe. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.